So you think you could spot a functioning alcoholic?
Yes!
The expression functional alcoholic isn't even a medical term. Matter of fact, it's a term that we alcoholics came up with so we could drink at work.
Let's go!
I just made that up. So in this episode, we're going to dig deeper into detecting these so-called functional alcoholics. One of the classic moves of a functioning alcoholic is the art of hiding booze. And oh man, I was like a warlock at trading out vodka bottles for water bottles.
Wow.
And Gatorade bottles are perfect for day drinking in plain sight. Not only was I hydrating, but getting drunk and healthy at the same time. Now the real fun part was the treasure hunt I would find myself in the next morning, discovering hidden stashes in random spots like a squirrel hiding Jaeger nuts for the winter, vodka in my gym bag, vodka and old clothes in my closet, suitcase vodka. I always had a half bottle in the glove compartment ready for my morning commute to the liquor store. And of course I had bottles stashed all around the house. Vodka behind books, couch vodka, food container vodka. Mouthwash and shampoo bottles weren't off limits. You guessed it, they were full of vodka. Man, alcoholics be creative and shit. Another dead giveaway is chewing tons of gum and crushing breath mints. Let me tell you, I treated Tic Tacs like a daily supplement. But little did they know, it was all part of my killing the smell charade. And as any real functioning alcoholic knows, the old vodka trick. It's basically the sneaky shadow mode of alcohol. Or so I thought. Next up, late night solo runs to the gas station. Guilty as charged. I was a master at this one. I was always finding a totally legit reason to dash off to the Quick Mart at 3 a.m. Because who doesn't need Q-tips and some deep-fried banana Twinkies in the middle of the night? And of course, there's the old, I'm only having 2 tonight, which means 30. That couple usually turns into 5 a.m., which then turns into passing out in the Steak and Shake drive-thru and waking up to the police knocking on your window. And shocker, they're not asking you if you wanted extra cheese on your chili mac. Another surefire tell is isolation. Sure, you might be outgoing at the party or the bar, but the rest of the time you'd rather be at home sipping in solitude. The occasional party might seem like a good idea, but my happy place was drinking solo, away from any judgment, and more importantly, not sharing my booze. And a big one for me, no hangovers. I was never hungover, at least not for the first 10 shaky minutes of the morning. I drank so much and so often that my body just came along for the ride. I was all in every waking moment, no questions asked. And my memory? That's funny. What memory? Blackouts were a regular occurrence. I'd wake up not knowing why everyone acted like I peed on the rug, then I'd get defensive when they confronted me. I think it's one of the worst traits alcoholics have, dodging accountability, creating a cycle of denial and frustration. I also like drinking over eating. Not because I didn't need food, but because the idea of eating was nauseating. If I could pick booze over Denny's, I would every time. And social anxiety? Yeah, that was a big one. Ironically, fueled by the alcohol, which only made me need more alcohol to get through the anxiety. And then came the multiple attempts to quit drinking, literally hundreds of failed attempts. So I started every week with promises to start fresh. By day 3, I'd be shaking and throwing up so bad that quitting wasn't an option. And that's when I realized rehab was my only shot. I know rehab isn't affordable for everyone, but if you have a good job with good health insurance, definitely check it out. I only paid about $200 out of pocket and it 100% saved my life. There are many rehab facilities that may be able to take you in at no cost, and I'll include that in the links in the description below. Without intervention though, I was heading straight for liver disease and more brain damage. But with solid treatment and willpower, I've been able to quit drinking and start a healthier, happier life. And doing this podcast helps keep me accountable. I also lean on a great support system of friends, family, and online resources. See, I was hooked on alcohol long before my body reached the point where quitting meant getting super sick. The addiction was there way before the physical dependency kicked in. I'd still tell myself I was functional and that made it less of a problem, but here's the thing, it's still alcoholism. Think of it like the stages of cancer. When my mom was first diagnosed with breast cancer, she wouldn't have said, I don't really have cancer, I'll just wait and see what happens. No, we got her into treatment as soon as possible, knowing that if we didn't, things would have went downhill very fast. It's the same with alcoholism. The key is addressing it before it turns into a full-blown physical dependency. Because once you've hit that stage, your liver and other organs might not get a second chance. Treating it early is like giving your body a lifeline. By the time you're fully in it, if you don't nip this thing in the bud, you're headed straight for the non-functioning club, and that's when you go from, I've got this, to why am I passed out under the neighbor's porch? So maybe you're still managing to drag yourself into work, and at that point, you're more about surviving the day than actually doing your job. Just going through the motions and hoping no one notices the growing pile of screw-ups. Most of the time, things start to unravel at home before they do at work since the paycheck keeps things barely stitched together. But whether you're functioning or non-functioning, your life ends up on a hamster wheel of obsessive thoughts, to the point where it's like your brain's running on a 24/7 broadcast of, when's the next drink? And before you know it, responsibilities and relationships start slipping through the cracks. The longer it goes, the worse the consequences get. So here's wishing and hoping you catch it early before you hit the point of needing 5 shots of warm vodka to even consider starting your day. You don't have to wait for rock bottom to realize it's time to make a change. You always hear addicts say all the time, if you don't quit, there are only 3 places you'll end up: alone, in jail, or dead. So if you or someone you know shows any of these signs, try to get help before it's too late and take some time to check out my other videos, especially the ones on how I got sober. And remember, always consult with a medical professional before trying to go cold turkey. Quitting can be dangerous and even life-threatening. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, remember, God loves you, and so do I. Peace.